So word formation is one of the important areas where we attempt the examination for TGT, PGT, or even school assistant examination. So in this word formation, we need to know what are the different ways to form new words. In order to form a new words, what are the different things? What are the different areas that we have? So that is going to be discussed as a part of the concept word formation. So this is one more important area where we should focus on the different techniques of forming a new word, right? There are several ways. Many of us think that words are formed only by adding a prefix or a suffix. కేవలం ప్రిఫిక్స్ సఫిక్స్ చేర్చడం ద్వారా మాత్రమే వర్డ్స్ చేంజ్ అవుతాయి, వాటి పార్ట్స్ ఆఫ్ స్పీచ్ చేంజ్ అవుతుంది అని అనుకుంటాము. బట్ దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద ఓన్లీ వే టు ఫార్మ్ ద వర్డ్స్. There are many other methods. There are many other methods to change the parts of speech to form a new word. Now, as a part of this video, we are going to discuss different techniques of forming new words. మరి న్యూ వర్డ్స్ ని ఫార్మేషన్ చేయడానికి డిఫరెంట్ టెక్నిక్స్ ని గురించి మనం డిస్కస్ చేయబోతున్నాము. అండ్ యా, the very first technique that we are going to discuss as a part of the word formation is affixation. Affixation is the very first concept, and we can say this is the major morphological process of forming new words. We can say that this is the major and important morphological process which is there to form new words. New words ni form చేయడానికి ఒక మేజర్ morphological process గా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. అండ్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ లో అడుగుతుంటాడు మనకి, ఓకే, what is the major morphological process that is useful in coining new words? ఓకే, న్యూ వర్డ్స్ ని కాయిన్ చేయడానికి ఉన్నటువంటి మేజర్ మార్ఫలాజికల్ ప్రాసెస్ ఏది అంటాడు. We can easily answer that question by affixation. Affixation is the right answer to that one. So affixation is a process of adding a prefix or an infix or a suffix. Okay, we know that there are three kinds of affixation. Affixation is done by adding three elements. One is prefix, second one is infix, and third one is the suffix. We all know the concept of prefixation. Okay, let us talk about the concept of prefixation. Prefixation is the process of adding prefix to a root word. Adding a prefix to the root word is known as the prefixation. Prefixation is the process of adding a prefix to the root word, and this prefix is added, as you know. Where do we add it? It occurs, prefix occurs before a root word. Okay, right. So in the examination we may ask a question: a group of letters which can occur before a base form or a root word is known as. Adding a group of letters before a root word or a base word in order to coin a new word is known as prefix. Adding prefixes is known as the prefixation. Prefix ni add చేసేటువంటి ప్రాసెస్ మనం ఏం చెప్పుకుంటాము? We call it the prefixation. Okay, for example, friend is a root word. And in order to coin a new word, here I am using the prefix un అనేటువంటి prefix ని add చేశాను. By adding this prefix, a new word is coined, that is unfriend. So how is this formed? By adding a prefix, and this adding of prefix is known as prefixation. We call it the prefixation. And the second one, as you know all, the second one is suffixation. Yeah, what is the second one? Suffixation. Okay. Suffixation is nothing but adding a letter or group of letters at the end of a root word. If you add a letter or a group of letters at the end of a root word or at the end of a base word, in order to coin a new word, is known as suffixation. Suffixation. For example, look at the word play, and I am adding ed here, and a new word is formed, that is played. Played, and this is the we are adding group of letters at the end of a root word, and this is known as suffix. This is known as suffix, and adding suffixes is known as the process of suffixation. This is the second method, and we can say affixation is the major method of forming the words. Okay, and you know the third one, that is infixation, where we add infix to that. Okay, infix add chestam in the middle of a letter or a group of letters are added in the middle of a word in order to coin a new word, and that concept is known as infixation. We call it an infixation. So these are the three methods that we have: prefix, suffix, and infix, and this is the major method. So what is the major method of word formation? Word formation ఉన్నటువంటి major method ఏదని చెప్పుకుంటాము. The major method of word formation is affixation. Affixation is the major method of word formation. And the second concept that we have is the compounding. Compounding is the second method. Okay, రెండవ మెథడ్ గా మనం compounding గా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. Compounding is nothing but using two or more words, forming a new word by combining two or more words. ఓకే, రెండు లేదా మూడు పదాలు, రెండు లేదా అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ పదాలని ఉపయోగిస్తూ ఒక న్యూ వర్డ్ ని కంబైన్ చేయడాన్ని కాంపౌండింగ్ అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. Yeah, so that process is known as a compounding. Compounding is nothing but forming a new word by combining two or more words. రెండు లేదా అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ పదాలను ఉపయోగించి కొత్త వర్డ్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేయడాన్ని మనం ఏమని చెప్పుకుంటాం? We call it the compounding. And let me give you the examples. Black is one word and board is another word, and here we are forming a new word by combining these two, and we call it blackboard. We call it a blackboard. And sugar is one word and cane is another word, and we are forming a new word, that is sugar cane, and that is also a compound word. It is a compound word. And look at one more example. Well dressed, and this is nothing but one word with a hyphen. So these compound words may be hyphen or unhyphenated words or unhyphenated. Well dressed, that is a compound adjective. Let us look at the next one. Brand is one word and new is another word, and we form a new word, that is brand new, that is nothing but the compound word. We call it a compound word అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. And look at the next one, that is fifth one, lip plus read. Lip read, this is another word. And some people have this habit, sleep plus walk, we call it sleepwalk. So here what are we doing? We are adding two or more words in order to coin a new word. రెండు లేదా అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ పదాలని, కొన్నిసార్లు ఎక్కువ కూడా వాడతాం కదా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మదర్ ఇన్ లా, three words are used here. So mother in law, hyphenated word, mother in law. Commander in chief. Okay, so this is about the concept that we have here, and this method of coining new words is known as the compounding. We call it compounding, and compounding is one technique to form a new word. First one is affixation, and the second method, major method చెప్పుకుంటాం మనం. Second method is compounding. And here, if you look at the compounding, the compound words may be hyphenated. They are also unhyphenated. కొన్నిసార్లు hyphen ఉండొచ్చు and కొన్నిసార్లు ఉండకపోవచ్చు depending on the words. Then how many types of compound words are there? Compound words are of three types. Three types of compound words are there. Look at these things: blackboard and sugar cane. These are the compound nouns. Compound nouns. Compound nouns అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. Well rested and brand new. These are known as compound adjectives. Compound adjectives. Lip read and sleepwalk. These are known as compound verbs. Compound verbs. You might have read only compound nouns and compound adjectives. ఇవి రెండు వినుంటారు మీరు, but compound verbs అనేది కూడా ఉంటుంది. Okay, compound word is also there, right? And just look at one more word: what plus ever. Whatever. What plus ever, whatever. So this is also a compound word. Similarly, when plus ever, whenever. Where plus ever, wherever. Where plus ever, wherever. These are compound adverbs. We call them compound adverbs. Compound adverbs అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. And we can also say adjectives. వాటిని conjunctions గా కూడా చెప్పుకుంటాము. So here compound words are of compound nouns, compound adjectives, and compound verbs. Even compound adverbs are also there, right? So this is about the concept of the compounding, and these things are to be remembered. Quickly answer the questions that I am going to ask you about this one. Okay, ఇప్పుడు నేను అడగబోయే questions కి fast గా ఆన్సర్ చేయండి. I'll give two words and you have to answer. Head plus phone. Head plus phone. That becomes headphone. What is a part of speech? Head plus phone becomes headphone. Part of speech. Headphone. Compound noun. That is a compound noun. Compound noun. And let us look at one more word: baby sit. Baby sit, and it becomes a word that is baby sit. What is this baby sit? It is a compound verb. Compound verb. Sunglass. Sunglass. So we call it sunglass, compound noun. So compound noun. Mouth watering. Mouth watering. So this is a compound word, but what is the part of speech for this compound word? Okay, so this is the adjective. Okay, adjective అవుతుంది. And compound adjective: whole plus heartedly. Whole plus heartedly becomes wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. It is a compound adverb. Compound adverb అవుతుంది. Compound adverb wholeheartedly. She thanked me wholeheartedly. Okay, right? So this is about the second one. And first one ఏం చెప్పుకున్నాం? The very first one is affixation, first concept. The second one is compounding, and third one is conversion. Conversion is the third one. In the conversion, one part of speech is changed into another part of speech. Another part of speech. If one part of speech is changed into another part of speech, if you form a new word by converting one part of speech into another part of speech, that technique of word formation is known as conversion. దాన్ని మనం conversion గా చెప్పుకుంటాము. Okay, so let us take some examples for this conversion. Conversion కి కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూద్దాం. For example, dial అనేది తీసుకోండి. What is dial? Dial ఏం చెప్పండి? Dial is actually a noun. Dial, but we can use it as a verb also, dialed. So verb అనేది noun అనేది ఎలా వాడబడింది, this is used as a verb. So this is called conversion. దీన్ని మనం conversion గా చెప్పుకుంటాము. Let me give you one more example. Bottle is a noun and we call bottling or bottled. This has become a verb. So అది verb గా మారడం జరిగింది. Don't change that thing. For example, someone asked do, did. This is not a conversion. This is not a conversion. Okay, ఇది conversion అని చెప్పుకోం మనం, right? And look at one more example for this. Release. Actually, release is a noun, but this can also be used as verb. Release. This is also used as a verb. Okay. Next one, Chudam. Must. For example, my presence is a must. Actually, the word must is a verb. Must and the verb. But ikkada chudandi, what is the part of speech for this must? Must can cheppandi ikkada parts of speech. That is used as a noun. That is used as a noun. That is used as a noun. I met her yesterday. I met her yesterday. Yesterday is an adverb. Adverb. Yesterday was a holiday. Yesterday was a holiday. Okay. What is yesterday in this context? So this is nothing but the conversion. It means one part of speech is used into another part of speech. If one part of speech is used into another part of speech, that technique is known as the conversion. Conversion ga cheppuntamu. Okay. Let me give you some examples for this. Konni examples chuddam manam. Say. What is the part of speech for the word say? Say ane daniki part of speech em cheppandi. This is a verb. Actually, this is a verb. For example, they discussed his say. What is say in this sentence? What is the word say in this sentence? This is a noun. This is a noun. Okay, that is used as a noun. Noun ga vaartunnamu. Okay. What is the part of speech for perfect? Perfect. For example, she is perfect. She is perfect in the subject. She is perfect in the subject. And she should perfect her grammar. She should perfect her grammar. What is the part of speech for the perfect here and the perfect here? Okay. So first one is the word, what is that? Adjective. And here perfect is a verb. And adjective is also used as a verb. Adjective ni verb ga kuda use chestunamu. And that is the reason this technique is known as conversion. Dini manam conversion ga cheppuntamu. We call it conversion. Okay. Right. I hope you all have understood the concept here. Right. Water. For example, I need water. I need some water. What is water here? Noun. Okay. Here water is noun. Okay. I water plants. I water plants. What is water here? Water is a verb here. Verb. For example, it is a water animal. It is a water animal. What is water here? This is an adjective. So this is how new words are formed by changing the parts of speech, and that technique of coining new words is known as conversion. Dani manam conversion ga cheppuntamu. I hope all of you have understood this concept. Shall we move on to the next concept? If you are perfect in this, we can go to the next concept, right? So the next one is reduplication. Reduplication. The name itself indicates you by the words in this process. New words New words are formed. New words are formed by duplicating the existing word. Duplicating the existing word. Okay. New words are formed by duplicating the existing word. For example, buy is a verb, buy. And just we duplicate this word and we write it bye bye. And a new word is formed by reduplicating the same word. We say tring tring. This is an example for reduplication. We have TikTok. TikTok. By repeating or by duplicating this word, we used TikTok. Okay, so this is about the concept of reduplication. If the words are formed in this manner, we call it the reduplication. Reduplication చెప్పుకుంటాము. Okay, so tip top, walkie talkie, sing song. And what is the example that is super duper? We always say it is super duper. Super duper is an example for the word formation. What is that? What is that? Super duper. It is then again the reduplication. By duplicating this word, a new word is coined duper. And this is next one is that is the reduplication, right? This is about the fourth method. And the next one is clipping. Clipping is the next one. Actually, this is not a morphological process. This is not a morphological process, but we often use this technique to coin new words in our language. Okay, so it is resulted usually to shorten a longer word. Okay, మనం ఏం చేస్తున్నాము, హ్యూమన్ టెండెన్సీ ఎలా అవుతుందంటే లాంగర్ వర్డ్స్ ఆర్ షార్టెండ్ ఫర్ అవర్ ఎగ్జిస్టెన్స్. ఓకే, ఫర్ అవర్ ఈజీనెస్. సో దట్ టెక్నిక్ ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ క్లిప్పింగ్. క్లిప్పింగ్ అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. ఎగ్జామినేషన్ లో ఏమవుతుందంటే shortening lengthy words. Shortening lengthy ones is a morphological process called dash అంటాడు. Shortening the lengthy words. Lengthy గా ఉండేటువంటి words ని okay ఏమంటాం మనం? We call it clipping. We call it clipping. So clipping is actually not a morphological process, but it is the human tendency to shorten the lengthy words. Okay, just for our convenience, we use this kind of technique. Look at some examples for clipping. Clipping కొన్ని example చూడండి ఇక్కడ. Aeroplane is changed into just plane. Omnibus is the original word, but here we omitted omni. We are using only bus. This is the clipping word. Advertisement, we call it ad. Examination, exam. Influenza, flu. Laboratory, lab. Actually, it is fountain pen, but we made it short by removing fountain. We just call it pen. Okay, so this is a photograph, photo. Coca-Cola, Coke. This is the concept of the clipping. This is the fifth process of forming the new words. The next one is blending or blend. Blending or blend is nothing but forming new words by blending it to already existing words. ఇంతకు ముందే ఉన్నటువంటి రెండు ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ వర్డ్స్ ని యూజ్ చేసి ఒక కొత్త వర్డ్ ని యూజ్ చేసేదే బ్లెండింగ్ లేదా బ్లెండ్ అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. పొటాటో ఆర్ టొమాటో. పొటాటో, టొమాటో. సో ఇఫ్ యూ prepare a dish with these two vegetables, we can call it a curry of pomato. Okay, so PO and mato, pomato. Breakfast and lunch. If you take meals in the between these two durations or these two meal times, we call it brunch. So BR breakfast nundi, UNCH lunch nundi, brunch we call it. And smoke fog, smog. Motor and hotel. A place where motors are stayed at hotel is known as a motel. Motel is that one. Transfer register, transistor. Motor pedal, we call it moped. Escalade and elevator. Escalade and elevator రెండింటిని కలిపి ఏమంటున్నాం మనం? We are calling it escalator. ఇవన్నీ కూడా మన రియల్ లైఫ్ లో యూజ్ చేసేటువంటి వర్డ్స్. And these words are formed by one process known as blending or blend. Blending లేదా blend అనేటువంటి టెక్నిక్ ద్వారా యూజ్ చేయబడ్డాయి. That is the sixth one. And the last technique that we are going to discuss is the seventh one, that is words are also formed by using the acronyms. Okay, by using acronyms also the words are formed. acronyms we know very well. For example, national eligibility test, we call it NET. NET is nothing but acronym, not abbreviation, it is the acronym. We have SARC. SARC is nothing but an acronym. Acronym ki example ga cheppuntamu. UNESCO, UNICEF, UNICEF. Okay, these are all some of the examples for the acronyms. Ivi acronyms ga cheppochu. Yeah, GATE, we can say BIX, COLP or NAC, SET, EvenTET. All these are the examples. All these are the examples. These are not abbreviations. Abbreviations are different. Okay, abbreviations are different, where we form the words like PGT, okay, SA, school assistant. So that kind of technique is known as abbreviations. Okay, so these are the different ways that are there to form new words. Ivi word formation ఉన్నటువంటి 7 or 8 technique ga cheppochu, and this is one of the important topics where there is a chance of asking good number of questions, right? I hope all of you have understood these 8 techniques. If you have any query or doubt, you can ask me after completion of this class. And here we are going to talk about some important terminology related to this affixation and even word formation. So we have discussed one term, that is minimal. Chala sarlu ochindi manaku minimal anedi. What is the meaning of minimal? Smallest unit that cannot be further divided. ఇంకా మనం డివైడ్ చేయలేనటువంటి ఒక స్మాలెస్ట్ యూనిట్ ని మనం మినిమల్ అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. We cannot divide that again. So morpheme is a minimal unit of grammatical structure. Phoneme is a minimal unit of the phonetics, and grapheme is a minimal unit of the alphabet, and these things cannot be divided further. Malli vitni further ga divide cheyadam antu undadu. Okay, so this kind of concept is known as the very first one, that is minimal. And the next one is monosyllabic. We know monosyllabic, disyllabic, trisyllabic and polysyllabic. Monosyllabic in the sense that has only one syllable, and you know polysyllabic that has more than 3 syllables. 3 kante ekkuva unte poly cheptamu. And then morphological. What do you mean by morphological? Relating to the study of word formation. So morphemes gurinchi study chesedi morphology లేదా morphological అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. Morphology is adjective, morphology is noun, morphological is an adjective. So what is the meaning of morphological? Relating to the study of word formation. And now tell me, what is morphology? What is morphology? Yeah, morphology is the study of the word formation, or the study of the morphemes. Okay, morphemes gurinchi study chesedvanti. And we know phonetics, that is a scientific study of the speech sounds, and it studies about the pronunciation. Conversion is the next concept. Conversion is nothing but change. Okay, change the class of words without changing its form. మనం ఇందాక చూసాము వాటర్ నౌన్, వాటర్ వర్బ్, వాటర్ అడ్జెక్టివ్. సో ఇక్కడ ఫామ్ చేంజ్ చేయకుండా, without changing the form, we are changing the class of words, we are changing the parts of speech. That process is known as conversion. దాన్ని కన్వర్షన్ గా చెప్పుకుంటాము. Okay, changing the parts of speech without changing the word. Clipping, we all know, that is shortening the form of a lengthy word. Lengthy word ni shorten cheyadam. And we know what is blending. Blending is nothing but mixing 2 words by dropping some elements or some sounds. Okay, so indaka chusamu, we call it motorbike, we simply call it bike అని చెప్తాము. Laboratory, we simply call it lab. Examination, exam అంటాము. Mathematics, maths అంటాము. So that kind of technique is known as blending. So sorry, mixing 2 words. That's not that one, right? Mixing 2 words by dropping some elements. For example, for the word of blending, like tomato అనేది ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. టొమాటో అండ్ పొటాటో రెండిటి నుంచి వచ్చింది, అండ్ ఈవెన్ బ్రాంచ్ ఆల్సో. సో దీస్ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఫర్ ద బ్లెండింగ్. ఇది బ్లెండింగ్ కి కొన్ని ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. So these are all the concepts related to the word formation. సో ఇది వర్డ్ ఫార్మేషన్ సంబంధించినటువంటి కాన్సెప్ట్. నౌ we need to discuss some questions. ఇప్పుడు కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ మనం డిస్కస్ చేసి ఈ క్లాస్ ని క్లోజ్ చేద్దాం. సో let us try to solve some questions based on the discussion that has been made so far. Okay, just quickly answer the questions here. Quickly answer the questions. The word photograph is simply called most of the times as photo. Okay, simply we call it as a photo. What do you call this technique of word formation? What do you call this kind of word formation? Okay, we call it clipping. We call this technique as clipping. Clipping ga cheppuntaru. Okay, and let us look at one more example. The word global, global plus local, global plus local, it has become glocal. And what do you call this kind of forming new words? What do you call this kind of techniques? Yeah, this is known as blending, or we call it blend. Blending or blend is the technique. Blending or blend, we can say. The third one is Central Investigation Department is simply known as CID. So what do you call forming new words in this manner? What do we call this one? Right? So that is nothing but the acronym. CID, acronym. Acronym, we also call this abbreviation. Acronym or abbreviation. Right. Here are some more examples that I am going to ask you related to the concept of word formation. Quickly answer them, and with that we end the session. Yeah, just give me a second so that I'll be displaying some questions to you. So here, identify the word formation techniques according to the class that we have so far. So what is the morphological process used in these words? I want to see the semi-final. So how is the word semi-final formed? Semi-final ela form cheyabadindi cheppandi. A very interesting activity, and it will give you a good revision. So it is by adding a prefix. It is by adding a prefix, that is semi. Semi ane word ni, semi ane prefix ni final ane root word ki add chesam. The house is near the water tank. So how is the word water tank formed? Water tank ane word ela form cheyabadindi. It is compounding. We call it compounding. Compounding. So water, noun, tank, noun, and these two are used to make a compound noun. Compound noun. Compounding and technique vaadabadindi. Edutainment. Edutainment is a new word. What is edutainment? And here it is made of education plus entertainment. Education and entertainment. So what do we call such technique? We call it blending. We call it blending. Blending is that process. TikTok, tick. How is the word tick formed? How is the word tick formed? This is nothing but reduplication. This process is known as reduplication. And the terrorist was arrested under TADA. Under TADA. What is this TADA? How is this word formed? A word ela form and cheppandi. TADA. Okay, this is a process of forming new words according to acronym. Okay, acronym prakaram form cheyabadindi. And look at the next one. Next question. Yeah, please book a ticket for me. Usually you know the meaning of the term book, but here book is used as a verb. Verb ga vaadabadindi. And what do you call this technique? We call it conversion. Conversion. Book అనేది వాడబడింది. Okay, and his application was rejected. How is the word application formed? Ela vaadabadindi application by adding a suffix. By adding a suffix, that is ICATION or CATION. Suffix add cheyadam dwara form ayindi. What is super duper? It is a super duper fill. That is nothing but reduplication. Reduplication. They dial a wrong number. They dial a wrong number. Dial is actually a noun, but here it is used as a verb. Noun ni verb ga vaadam kabatti we call it conversion. Conversion is the technique. They took the help of Interpol. Interpol is formed from international plus police. So inter and pol. International police ఏమంటున్నాం Interpol అని చెప్పుకుంటాము. This is a technique called blend or blending. This John was suffering from flu. This John was suffering from flu. So actually this is influenza. Influenza is the original word, but here in short we are calling it as flu, and we are shortening a lengthy word. Lengthy word ni shortening చేస్తున్నాము. What is this process called? We are calling it clipping. Clipping is the answer. Unexpectedly, I met her unexpectedly. What is unexpectedly here? By the process of affixation. It is added with the form of affixation by adding a prefix un and by adding a suffix ly. Okay, we stayed in the motel. What is motel here? How is it formed? Blending or blend. They listen to her say. They listen to her say. What is say here? Conversion. Say is a verb, but here it is used as a noun. Say ane verb ni akkada noun ga use chesamu. So these are the different ways. I hope all of you have got a good command over the different techniques of word formation. And with this, we end this video. And in the last 3 videos, we discussed the concept like morphemes. Under morphemes, we discussed the concept affixation. And after completion of that, we discussed what suffixes are used to change one part of speech into another part of speech. And we have also discussed the concept of word formation. Okay, we expect 1 or 2 questions from this area. So try to watch the video again and again and make notes out of it and practice the questions. Right? Thank you.